Welcome to the Laird Slave Auction 2006, and ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot for you to see tonight. Some of it you may not want to watch, but it's there for you to see anyway. All funds from this evening's venture go towards the David Williamson's Fund, and last year a record amount of $15,000 was raised. So this year we're trying to find out if we can do better than $15,000. The average over the some 10 years that it's been running has been about $7,000. Last year was $15,000. Why don't you check out the auction and see what you think?
200 down the front here. Come on, 250. So we're going to the David Williams Fund. It's a great cause. We want $50 extra.
Okay, 250 in the back.
Down the back we got 250. Okay.
Did you want to nominate what comes off?
Come on, Brad. Let's see the shorts.
Okay, we have 250 over the back. Thank you. Any advance on 160? Going once at 160, twice at 160. All done. Sold to the gentleman at the front.
Thank you, Rowan. Slave Rowan.
I'm here with Scott at the Laird Hotel Slave Auction, obviously, and you're a slave up for auction, is that right, Scott?
That's right, Michael. Yeah.
And what do you expect to have to do for your bidder?
Well, what I'd hope is, I know this is not going to happen, but what I'd really like is for the guy, if he's a bit shy to pay a bit of money, just come up and whisper in my ear, and I'll basically do anything once.
So we're talking mowing lawns, or we're doing the dishes?
Anything they want. And I really do mean anything.
Oh, okay.
But we'll have to do it like probably next weekend.
Next weekend you're on a tight
But it's a really
schedule.
It's a really good charity, and I want to try and get as much as I can if possible.
Oh,
so,
have you been a slave before?
No, I've never been a slave before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so this is your first time?
I'll do anything
So
once.
how much money are you hoping to pull in? What do you reckon you're worth?
I don't know. It depends on. I'm on early, so who knows? It might not.
People need to have a couple more.
250, 350, 450.
Okay.
Sky's the limit.
Twice at $100.
Room 6 at Club 8 tonight.
All done. Sold $100. The gentleman at the front. Thank you very much indeed. Kaylee, go down and speak to the gentleman down there.
I'm here with Kevin. Kevin, wasn't it?
That's right.
And Kevin is a master. Am I right in saying that? And your slave is?
Ian.
Ian is your slave. Okay. Now, you're here to put Ian up for auction, or?
He's on the block.
He's on the block.
He's on the block.
Does that mean that you have to bid for him, or?
That's a difficult question. I'm not going to say yes because he'll expect it. And if I say no, he'll work harder.
Can I ask how many slaves you've been through, Kevin?
How many slaves have I been through?
Yes.
Over how many years?
Yeah, exactly. Numerous slaves.
Numerous, yeah.
So you're kind of like, you could almost open your own sort of like training kennel.
Yeah, look, I could open my own slave business, that's for sure.
You know, training the uninitiated.
Yeah, look, I love puppy dogs. Boy loves puppy dogs. And the great part about it is we're actually having a dog competition this year for the best puppy dogs out there. And that's happening later on in the year.
Here at the Laird, or?
No, up at Club 80.
Oh,
So why don't you go for a walk here as well?
Soulmates. Have a walk up down the catwalk. Let's have a little bit of a look at you so everyone can get an idea of what they're going to be bidding on here.
What was that? Take fish. Oh, they're eager early, aren't they?
I haven't seen any money bid yet, so let's get underway. Pop your goodie bags up there, boy. 260. What do you mean 260? I have 260 over here. 260. Do I see 280? 260.
Oh,
Yeah, if I get 280, I'll see some. I have 280.
That's the way to do it.
Would you like to just take your jacket off, take your jumper off? Are we wearing short sleeve shirts? We are. Where's a little bit of skin for you? 280. Do I see 300? 380. I'm going once at 380. Going twice at 380. Any advance on 380. All done. Sold to the gentleman in front of me here, $380. Zach and Jason.
Well done.
Well done. It's $280.
If we do 290, he's got to flip the switch.
No, he's not.
If he goes 290,
Once at 280.
he's got to pay.
Twice at 280. All done. Sold. $280. Thank you. Service to the slave and an inducement from the crew from this side. Thank you.
Is there hot and sweaty under there?
Not yet.
Could be, couldn't it? Could be.
It could be. It fits very nicely around the back. Turn around for us. Very nice. Oh, that's firm.
I'm here again at the slave auction with Matt, is that right?
Yes, Matt.
And Matt, are you putting yourself up for auction tonight?
Hopefully putting myself out for auction tonight.
Out for auction, and in your best sailor outfit?
Yeah, I think I scrub up pretty well.
Yeah, I think there's actually a few of you wandering around tonight. Are you expecting someone in particular to bid for you, or is this open sort of...
Hopefully somebody that knows how to treat me mean.
Treat you mean? So you have a partner?
Not at the moment, no.
Oh, guys, shame you weren't here tonight, otherwise you could have bidded on Matt, I'm telling you. What is your forte? Yes.
My forte, standing around looking pretty. Yeah.
Pretty much. Okay. So for whatever dollars, Matt here tonight, we might show you the results a bit later in the night, actually. Thanks very much, Matt.
Thank you.
Cheers.
How tall are you?
You're a lot bigger than 6'2".
6'2", that's good.
What sort of service inducements would you be prepared to offer our people here tonight?
I'm a seaman looking for a weapon of mass destruction, hopefully a bit of nuclear warfare.
That wasn't rehearsed at all.
No. It's nice to find a slave who knows what he wants and what he can give to get. 240. 220 at the front. 220 at the front, looking for 240. 240 is against you, sir. Go to 240. Yes, we have 240 in the back. Thank you. 240 in the back. Do I see 260? 260. 240 in the back. It's against you. 240 in the back on my left. Anything over here?
He does take the arms, he just told me, Laurie.
He does.
He does take the arms.
This is very good. Take your hat off. 20 gentlemen in the front. Thank you very much indeed.
Take that for...
Okay. Did he get a good pack?
How can we be Michael? God bless Michael.
And now we dip into the world of queer comedy as we chat to a local comic who is fresh from seasons earlier this year at the Melbourne Comedy Festival and Edinburgh, Anthony Menchetti. Hello everyone, we're back with you on Studio Q right here on Bent TV, and joining us today is a very special guest who's just had a successful season himself, local boy made good, stand-up comic Anthony Menchetti. Anthony.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good to have you here. Now, you've just, as I said, fresh from the Melbourne Comedy Festival,
Yep.
From your season of Ants Pants at the Butterfly Club.
Yeah.
How was the season? Was it fun?
It was great, yeah. Like, it was my first kind of gay content show.
Mm-hmm.
So it was great to kind of, because I've been doing stand-up for about 6 years, so it's great to like talk about things that are real. And
So had you had that in the back of your mind for quite a while?
Yeah.
That you wanted to do a gay show?
Yep, absolutely. So it was, yeah, like great to do it, and audiences were amazing and really supportive, and it was great fun.
So would you say, you know, obviously I gather it's pretty autobiographical, that show, from your own life.
Yeah.
The whole coming out process, I guess, was there a lot of fodder in that for a comedy routine?
Yeah, heaps, because when I came out, like at the age of about 19, I think, my parents sent me to like a gay conversion school, which is like kind of like a church kind of...
that whole exodus.
Like, well, you're gay, but we'll make you straight.
Oh my God.
So the whole show was all about that.
So do you think personally you're scarred from that experience, or have you got over it? Or?
No, I'm over it now. I mean, this is like 10 years ago, so... but it was actually, you know, like actually quite funny. Funny
more rather than traumatic?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like, I actually met like quite a few gay people. Like it was kind of like
Funny.
an introduction to the gay world, and went, hey, like we'd go clubbing and that kind of stuff. So.
So it was more a social outlet than like all these poor queens sort of, trembling and, oh God, we've got to be straight. Yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you kept in touch with any of them?
No, although the team leader that obviously like led the team, he's now in the Navy, so...
Well, as you do, yes.
Yeah. I don't think the whole gay conversion thing really worked out for him.
Well, hello sailor, yes
Yeah,
indeed.
exactly.
What do they, what's the go with that? What do they do? Do they sort of, as we've heard with
Like
the American, in those things, you've heard the American ones, they send you out to play footy for the day, your hair's got to be a certain length and all that.
No, it's it's kind of like AA. Like you kind of sit there and like talk about any falls you've had. And like a fall is like, I don't know, like looking at internet porn or...
Sucking cock.
Hey, are we allowed to say that?
Of course we are. We can say what we like. Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Let's relax.
Relax. Let it all out.
Yeah.
I haven't actually ever met anybody face to face who's been through one of those things.
Yeah.
So, can I touch you? Yes. Exodus. He survived it. Yeah. So you're from Perth, aren't you?
Yeah. Moved to Melbourne about 6 years ago.
So it was always going to be Melbourne for you, not Sydney, because it's usually Sydney or Melbourne.
Yeah, I'm not into Sydney. I go there to do stand up like quite a bit, but yeah, like it just doesn't gel. I kind of like Melbourne for its like all its arts and that kind of stuff. Like it's really supportive of comedy and like a lot of things like that.
So quite apart from the Melbourne Comedy Fest, you've done several Edinburghs, haven't you?
Yeah. Like you kind of do an hour show every night for a month without time off, so it's pretty full on. Last time I went, I did 2 shows a day for a month, so I ended up doing 53 shows in 3.5 weeks, as well as doing a documentary for Comedy Channel during the day, so it was like really intense every day.
Yeah. Are the audiences there much different to what you get here in Australia?
I don't think so. They drink a lot more, and yeah, like people actually, like I've actually had people in the audience pass out from drinking.
And you didn't take that personally.
No, no. I've had like people just like stand there and then just fall back. Like you're like, hey, was it something I said? But no, they drink a lot, a lot. I mean, most of my audience here was straight, so and the show is catered like not only to gay people, but it's kind of about the gay lifestyle, and kind of gay conversion school is something that people actually go, that sounds interesting. What went on there?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, it's coming more and more to the fore, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of late. And do you get any feedback from, say, your straight audiences in terms of, I never knew that, or you've opened my eyes to...
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, every night. People are amazed
really?
that they actually exist, yeah.
Do you think you've changed a few minds and a few perspectives?
Or
is it kind of preaching to the converted? Or?
I think it's just like more making people aware of it, like making people kind of aware that kind of stuff exists, and there's some really weird ideas out there.
I've got to say, mate, the very thought of standing up in front of an audience, well, any audience at all, but particularly as a stand-up comic, makes my blood absolutely run cold.
Yeah.
When did you get to the point of thinking, yes, it's going to be comedy for me? What brought this about?
People like in school kind of said like you should do stand-up because I was like kind of a bit of a class clown. But
you can always pick them, can't you?
Yeah. And then I heard about a competition called Raw Comedy, and I entered that and ended up winning, which is great.
Wow.
And got like a national tour around Australia and kind of launched me. So it was a good way to start.
Fantastic. Yeah. And when you're planning a new routine, like a new season, new show, is there a particular process? Like, how do you get that routine structured, and is there a process you go through, or is it pretty much?
You kind of it's trial and error largely. So, like you write maybe 3 hours of material, and then you try it and you narrow it down to an hour, basically, like of your strongest stuff.
So your friends and family constantly the guinea pigs?
Yeah. Oh, they love it. Yeah. My housemate especially. Like I'm always like all hours of the night, hey, what do you think of this? Is this funny? And she's like, let me sleep. So yeah.
Fantastic. Have you ever had, like when you, even from the point you start a season, does the show evolve, like you go on stage and then...
Oh, absolutely.
Crowd reaction?
Yeah. Like even this show, like in the first week, my first week show was really different to how it actually ended. So I think the show had about 10 songs in it originally, and then it was cut back to about 5 songs.
So do you sort of use the crowd as a laughometer? What works? Yeah.
We do, like normally in a season we do 2 or 3 preview shows where we sell discounted tickets and you know, kind of, guinea pig the audience a little bit.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So those previews really, for you guys, I suppose they really work as a sounding out sort of thing. Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And not only you make your money full time from comedy now, don't you? Yeah. So is it easy to make a living from it, or?
It is if you travel a lot. Like, I mainly do festivals, so I do Melbourne Comedy Festival, and then try and do Adelaide, and Edinburgh, obviously. Perth has a little festival that I go over for, and then in between I kind of do the circuit in Sydney. So you go up and maybe do a month, and it's a gig every night, and you do all the pubs.
Yeah.
So
Great.
some gigs are great, some gigs are a nightmare. So it's up and down.
So what constitutes a nightmare? Purely the crowd or the venue? Or?
I think in Sydney there's some law where they have to give 10% because of all the pokies. They have to give 10% to the entertainment industry or something, and kind of stand-up's the cheapest thing to put on. So sometimes it's not really publicised, and you get like a couple of drunk people at the bar just who are there to drink, and you're up there going, "Hey, what's the deal with this?" And they're just like, "Who's that guy? What's going on?"
That kind of sums Sydney up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Money, pokey central. Yeah. That's you've not only done comedy, you've sort of done a bit in television in comedy, but you've also done some short films, haven't you?
Yeah. I did a film called A Day in the Life Inside the Head of Benny Barker.
Yes.
Yeah, which is about some little guy with acne. They latex them on.
Oh, okay. And you were he, were you?
Yeah, and like just he was like going through puberty and stuff. And,
fantastic.
Yeah, that was me.
And you were, I believe you were in a starring film that was one of the Qantas, it aired on Qantas.
Yeah. And I didn't know.
in-flight entertainment.
Yeah, I never knew. I did this film for Tropfest. I think. Something. Like, I had no idea it was going to be on Qantas. Friends just rang me up, and then I was flying on Qantas, and I saw it,
and there
it came
you
on.
were.
I was like, hey, it's me. But yeah.
So any desires in that area, or are you happy to stick to...
I'd love to do more film. Yeah, I love it. Yeah? It's great. I just did a commercial, actually.
Oh, wow.
Which was great fun.
What for?
The Herald Sun. Yeah, so that'll...
Oh, no, we love them. Yes,
yeah.
We love them. Any designs on the US at all, or is that...
Would love to, but a bit out of reach so far as... I guess opportunity. Like, I get to go to Edinburgh because producers come here to the Melbourne Comedy Festival and scout for new talent, and they kind of pick us up and produce us and pay for everything, which is great. So we just get to head over.
Oh, that's all right.
But there's no one really scouting for the US so far as comedy goes.
It sounds like a pretty daunting market to break into.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
I think the US is fairly insular in the whole comedy world. Yeah.
But sure, maybe there's more chances there of US scouts at somewhere like Edinburgh than
here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
People go to Edinburgh from all around the world and scout for new talent. It's great.
Oh well, right place at the right time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is the comedy world within the comedy community, is it queer friendly, or is it?
I think it is, totally, yeah. I mean, obviously I've done like mining gigs where, I wouldn't get up and, talk about dating guys and stuff, because they're like big, burly, shaved head guys drinking beer and
You never know.
So I can't, I've never actually got on stage and said I was straight, or I've never kind of got on stage and, talked about dating girls or anything, but I've just kind of talked about other stuff, kind of stuff that's in the media and that. So I keep it fairly general, and if people go, hey, he's gay, whatever, I'm not bothered, but if in like a mining gig, I probably wouldn't harp on about it.
A mining gig. So how remote have you gone in terms of those sort of gigs?
I did one in Ipswich.
Oh, yeah.
Queensland, yeah. And
Pauline Hanson territory.
Yeah, and Mackay. I did one in Mackay.
Yeah. So not Kalgoorlie or something like that yet?
Yeah, I've done Kalgoorlie.
Have you?
Well,
I was going to say.
I actually did a gig in Kalgoorlie, and when I got there was a woman in a leopard print dress, like mopping blood off the steps and of the venue, and I walked in going, is this where the comedy's on? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, great, This is going to go down a treat. But it was all right, actually. It ended up being quite a good gig.
No, I couldn't believe apparently Kalgoorlie actually does have a very minute drag scene, and I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
We're everywhere. It's good to see.
Yeah.
You mentioned your comedy channel show before your TV show. I believe as part of that you actually did a bit of an interview series with comics.
Yeah, basically went through the UK interviewing kind of big names in comedy. People like Ross Noble.
Oh, yeah.
Who else? else? Yeah, like Julie Morris. Do you remember her?
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
Is she based over there?
Yeah, she's moved there. And yeah, like a lot of comics that were in Australia and moved there just to see how they're finding their career and how they're finding their feet and that kind of stuff now.
And how were most of them making good? Or
Yeah, Julie Morris is doing really well actually. But she was saying, because when she left here, she was like in Women's Day all the time. And, she was actually quite a big celebrity, and she went over there and said, she had like tabloids with, her photo and stuff saying like, I'm actually quite big.
down under.
Yeah. and she had to start from scratch. They just weren't interested.
Oh, right.
So I think, she was saying she had like a convertible BMW. She sold it to go there, and within a month she was eating tomato on Rivita, cracker things, whatever.
That's the hard yards we go through.
Yeah, so she did that for about 6 months. So it's hard work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all ahead of you possibly if you want to make the big move.
Exactly, yeah.
If people want to check out a bit more about yourself, you've got a website, haven't you?
I do, yep. www.anthonymenchetti.com.
Beautiful. That's an easy one to remember. Anthony, it's been wonderful.
It's been great to be here.
Thanks a lot, and we'll hopefully have you back on stage in action for us here on Bent TV live.
Great.
Beaut. Catch you soon, and we will be back soon in Studio Q with something else fabulous for you. Stay with us.
Hi and welcome to another Q View here on Bent TV. I'm Michael King, and this is my friend Kris. And this week, unfortunately, the dominatrix Erica couldn't make it, which is a shame because we're talking about her favourite subject to start up. Following Bent TV's recent coverage of
the slave auction.
Yes, the Laird slave auction.
Correct.
I wanted to ask you, if you were offering yourself up as a slave, what things, like for example at this auction I interviewed a few people and they said, look, anything. And I'm like, oh, okay. For a couple $100, I mean, gee. And some people were like just willing to like wash dishes in their underwear or something like that. What would be on your resume, for want of a better word?
Anything out of the bedroom.
Out of the bedroom?
The bedroom, yes.
Well, there is that, because you can't really, it's not like you get to choose who's betting money on you, can you?
That in itself oversteps the auction line, I think.
Yeah, like if you could pick and choose who's paying.
We'd like to do that now, wouldn't we?
Well, there was this one work at this auction, a couple, that is to say, they were two young boys, but I don't think they were boys because although they were dressed in Wesley uniforms,
college boys,
offering them in the little shorty grey shorts and all the rest of it, they got like $500 or something dollars.
Nice, good for charity, good.
Oh well, it was all going to the David Williamson's fund, by the way. But that's all they were willing to do, was stand in their knickers and basically do your dishes. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not paying $500 for that.
That depends on how much you want to see it, Michael.
Well, yeah. If I was auctioned off as a slave, I just know myself, I'd be around their place saying, look, this is disgusting, get out and clean it. I wouldn't end up doing it. They'd end up doing it.
You would.
They'd have paid an exorbitant amount of money for me.
Of course they would.
And all they get to do is clean their own home. Bitch.
No.
No, well, there were quite some reasonably priced slaves
you were saying,
on the night. $100 or something.
Nice, yes.
Not
paper reviewing, yes.
Yeah, well, I didn't. As this was all done, no, you know me and all the research I do for this program. No, I do a lot of research.
Yes.
I'll go out and, well, I didn't become a slave, but I'll go and watch them become slaves. Yeah.
Well, it's like not at the auction at least.
Well, we did speed dating. We had to do speed dating for the show, so we went on speed dating.
Twice.
Yeah.
To no avail.
Bugger.
But it was fun.
It was fun.
That was interesting.
And my whole online dating thing
scenario. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm not going to give.
No, let's not go there.
Because we talk to you about all this stuff, and it's all for the show, ladies and gentlemen. You know that. All right. Well, let's get not so serious. Not that we have been really. But just before we go, what about George Michael?
What has he done now?
Again, the idiot's fallen asleep in front of the car, right? He just went back on parky.
Doesn't he have a chauffeur?
Got himself back into the hearts and minds of all his English fans, and he goes out and passes out again.
I mean, a chauffeur.
What is the man's? I reckon, with all his money...
There's chauffeurs, come on.
He must have like a PA or a security guard or something. I tell you, he needs a nurse.
Some of them.
The man needs a nurse.
And Paris Hilton, she's been busted.
What for?
Oh, Drinking, driving, naughty, over the limit.
I actually saw something like was on the cover of one of those like Who magazines that she was caught carrying marijuana or something. But you can't really believe everything.
That's just media.
On the cover of Who, but you can believe everything, of course,
that you see on our show
in MCV or or the Melbourne Star Observer. You can believe everything.
Absolutely. Trustful newspapers.
Well, that's about it.
I think on this sunny Sunday afternoon, Michael.
That's right. It's a lovely day here in the Greville Street Gardens in Paran. Yes. You've been watching Q View. That's Kris and I'm Michael, and stay tuned to Bent TV.